Agile software management. Agile software management is like the Force guiding a Jedi. Just as the Force empowers and guides a Jedi to make wise decisions, Agile software management enables the team to adapt, collaborate, and deliver valuable software in iterations, much like a Jedi's ability to sense and react to their surroundings. Acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria are like the navigational coordinates provided by R2-D2 to reach a distant planet. Just as R2-D2's coordinates ensure a precise and successful journey, acceptance criteria define the specific conditions and requirements that the software must meet to satisfy the customer's needs. Acceptance test. Acceptance test is like a lightsaber duel between two Jedi. Just as the duel tests the skills and abilities of the Jedi, the acceptance test assesses the functionality and behavior of the software against the specified criteria, determining whether it meets the intended results. Agile Manifesto. The Agile Manifesto is like the Jedi Code, guiding Agile teams on their path. Just as the Jedi Code sets principles for Jedi behavior, the Agile Manifesto sets the values and principles that Agile teams follow to achieve customer satisfaction, adaptability, and collaboration. Application Lifecycle Management, ALM, ARM is like the coordinated battle plans of the Rebel Alliance. Just as the Rebel Alliance meticulously plans each phase of their operations, ARM oversees the entire software application's lifecycle, ensuring a well-organized and successful development process from conception to retirement. Backlog. The backlog is like a Jedi's list of missions and tasks handed down by the Jedi Council. Just as a Jedi keeps track of various missions and assignments to fulfill their duty, the Agile team manages a backlog of user stories and tasks to deliver valuable software increments. Backlog grooming. Backlog grooming is like tuning a lightsaber to maintain its efficiency. Just as a Jedi regularly maintains and fine-tunes their lightsaber to ensure it functions at its best, backlog grooming involves refining and prioritizing user stories to optimize the team's productivity and focus. Big visible charts. Big visible charts are like the holographic maps used by rebel leaders to strategize and plan their operations. Just as the holographic maps provide critical information and visibility to the rebel leaders, big visible charts display project progress and status to the Agile team and stakeholders, helping them make informed decisions. Burn-down chart. A burn-down chart is like the targeting system of an X-wing fighter. Just as the targeting system shows the pilot the remaining enemies to defeat, a burn-down chart displays the remaining work to be completed by the Agile team, guiding them toward project completion. Burn-up chart. A burn-up chart is like the Rebel Alliance's tracking of the Death Star's power build-up. Just as the Rebel Alliance monitors the Death Star's power increase during their attack, a burn-up chart depicts the growth of completed work in relation to the total work, providing insight into project progress. Cadence. Cadence is like the synchronized moves of the Jedi during a lightsaber duel. Just as Jedi coordinate their movements to fight as a team, Agile teams strive for cadence, a rhythmic pattern of iteration and delivery, to achieve cohesion and efficiency in their work. Capacity. Capacity is like the cargo hold of the Millennium Falcon. Just as the Falcon's cargo hold can only carry a certain amount of goods, the Agile team determines their capacity to take on work in each iteration, ensuring they can deliver within their capabilities. Chickens and pigs. Chickens and pigs are like the different factions within the Rebel Alliance. Just as the rebels have active combatants, pigs, and supportive members, chickens, Agile projects involve team members who are fully committed to delivering the product, pigs, and stakeholders who are involved, but not directly responsible for the development, chickens. Continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is like Jedi training. Just as Jedi continuously train and improve their skills, Agile teams embrace a culture of learning and adaptability to enhance their processes and deliver better software. Continuous integration, CI. Continuous integration is like the seamless coordination of the Rebellion's fleet during a space battle. Just as the Rebel fleet works together in perfect harmony, C involves frequently integrating code changes into the shared codebase, ensuring a smooth and stable software development process. Cycle. Cycle is like the repetitive ebb and flow of the Force. Just as the Force has its cycles of light and dark, Agile teams experience cycles of planning, development, and delivery in each iteration, guiding them toward project completion. Daily Scrum, Daily Stand-Up. Daily Scrum or Daily Stand-Up is like a strategic briefing among Rebel commanders. Just as the Rebel commanders gather daily to share updates and plan their actions, the Agile team meets for a brief stand-up to synchronize their efforts, address challenges, and plan their day. Definition of done. Definition of done is like the Jedi Code, guiding Jedi on their path. Just as the Jedi Code sets principles for Jedi behavior, the definition of done sets the quality criteria that each user story must meet before it is considered complete. Epic stories. Epic stories are like the grand missions undertaken by the Rebellion. Just as the rebels embark on crucial missions to challenge the Empire, epic stories represent significant features or projects that Agile teams break down into smaller, manageable user stories. Estimation. Estimation is like a hyperspace jump calculation. Just as pilots calculate the time and route for a hyperspace jump, Agile teams estimate the effort required for user stories to plan their iterations effectively. Fail fast. Fail fast is like a quick escape plan when caught by stormtroopers. Just as rebels have backup plans to retreat quickly, Agile teams embrace a fail fast approach to identify issues early and adapt their strategies accordingly. Feature creep. Feature creep is like the dark side tempting a Jedi to the path of the Sith. Just as the dark side lures Jedi with promises of power, adding more and more features to a project can tempt the team away from the original scope and lead to project chaos. Agile teams must resist the allure of feature creep and stay true to the project's purpose, much like a Jedi resists the seduction of the dark side. Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence is like the Force guiding an apprentice Jedi's training. Just as the Force flows through all living things, the Fibonacci sequence helps Agile teams align their estimations harmoniously. Using this sequence, like a Jedi honing their skills, empowers the team to make accurate and consistent estimations during planning poker. Impediment. An impediment is like an asteroid field obstructing a starship's path. Just as the asteroids hinder the starship's progress, impediments block the Agile team's way and disrupt their flow. The team must work together, like skilled pilots navigating through the asteroid field, to identify and remove impediments for a smooth development journey. Iteration. An iteration is like a lightsaber duel between Jedi and Sith. Just as the duel progresses with each clash of lightsabers, Agile teams advance their project step by step during each iteration. They build upon previous successes, much like a Jedi refining their combat skills, to deliver a valuable product. Iterative development. Iterative development is like Yoda training Luke Skywalker on Dagobah. Just as Yoda guides Luke through repeated lessons to master the ways of the Jedi, Agile teams iteratively refine and improve the product through multiple development cycles. Each iteration builds on the lessons learned, just as Luke's skills improved with each training session. Kanban. Kanban is like the Rebel Alliance coordinating its forces during a battle. Just as the Rebel Alliance deploys troops and resources as needed, Kanban allows Agile teams to manage work items efficiently and adapt quickly. Like the Rebel Alliance's strategic maneuvers, Kanban optimizes workflow and ensures resources are utilized effectively. Lean software development, LSD. LSD is like Qui-Gon Jinn's minimalist approach to training Anakin Skywalker. Just as Qui-Gon focuses on the essentials, LSD emphasizes delivering value quickly and eliminating waste in the development process. Like Anakin's potential being unlocked, lean software development unlocks the team's potential for efficient and effective delivery. Pair programming. Pair programming is like Han Solo and Chewbacca piloting the Millennium Falcon. Just as Han pilots the ship while Chewbacca handles the technical details, two programmers collaborate at a workstation during pair programming. Like the Millennium Falcon's smooth operation, pair programming enhances code quality and encourages knowledge sharing. Planning game. The planning game is like a strategic council meeting of the Jedi Council. Just as the Jedi Council deliberates and makes decisions for the greater good, Agile teams and stakeholders come together in the planning game to prioritize user stories and align on project objectives. Like the Jedi Council's wisdom, the planning game ensures well-informed decisions. Planning poker. Planning poker is like Lando Calrissian and Han Solo negotiating a deal. Just as Lando and Han use their experience and instincts to reach an agreement, Agile team members use their expertise to estimate user stories collaboratively. Like a successful negotiation, planning poker results in valuable insights and accurate estimations. Product backlog. The product backlog is like a holocron containing the wisdom of the Jedi Order. Just as the holocron holds a repository of knowledge, the product backlog is a comprehensive list of features and requirements. It guides the team's path to create a valuable product, much like the holocron preserves the teachings of the Jedi Order. Product backlog item, PBI. A product backlog item is like a piece of a holocron puzzle that fits into the larger Jedi archive. Just as each PBI represents a fragment of knowledge that contributes to the greater wisdom of the Jedi Order, a holocron piece adds to the collective knowledge of the ancient Jedi. Product owner. The product owner is like a Jedi Council member representing the will of the Force. Just as a council member speaks on behalf of the Force's guidance, the product owner represents the voice of the customer and guides the Agile team according to their needs. Refactoring. Refactoring is like fine-tuning a lightsaber to enhance its precision and power. Just as a Jedi refines their lightsaber without changing its fundamental function, refactoring improves code quality and maintainability while preserving its external behavior. Relative estimation. Relative estimation is like comparing the Force sensitivity of two Jedi apprentices. Just as Jedi Masters gauge the potential of apprentices based on their abilities, Agile teams estimate tasks by comparing their complexity to previous ones they have encountered. Release. A release is like the Rebellion announcing a new fleet of starships ready for battle. Just as the Rebellion unveils new assets after completing various missions, a release in Agile is the culmination of completed sprints delivering a valuable product to the users. Release plan. A release plan is like a strategic battle plan for the Rebel Alliance. Just as the Alliance plans its operations for various campaigns, a release plan outlines the features and timeline for delivering software to the users. Scrum. Scrum is like a Jedi training session in the Jedi Temple. Just as young Jedi train under the guidance of their master in focused sessions, the Scrum team works in time-boxed sprints to deliver increments of a project. Scrum team. A Scrum team is like a squad of rebel fighters with diverse skills. Just as the Rebel Alliance assembles a team with various talents for a mission, the Scrum team consists of cross-functional members working together to achieve project goals. Scrum Master. A Scrum Master is like Yoda mentoring young Jedi in their journey. Just as Yoda guides and supports the Jedi in their training, the Scrum Master facilitates the Scrum team, ensuring their growth and adherence to Agile principles. Scrum of Scrums. A Scrum of Scrums is like a Jedi Council gathering to discuss the progress of multiple missions. Just as the Jedi Council convenes to exchange information and make decisions, a Scrum of Scrums enables representatives from different Scrum teams to communicate, coordinate, and address cross-team issues. Scrumman is like a skilled lightsaber master combining elements of both Jedi forms. Just as a lightsaber master adapts their fighting style, Scrumman allows teams to blend Scrum and Kanban practices, adapting to the project's needs. Spike. A spike is like a reconnaissance mission before a critical battle. Just as a reconnaissance mission provides crucial information before engaging in a major conflict, a spike helps Agile teams gather vital information and insights before tackling complex tasks. Sprint. A sprint is like a focused Jedi training session with a specific goal in mind. Just as Jedi undertake intense training for a fixed period to achieve specific skills, a sprint is a time-boxed iteration where the Agile team works towards completing specific user stories. Sprint backlog. A sprint backlog is like a Jedi's task list for a crucial mission. Just as a Jedi plans and organizes their tasks before a mission, a sprint backlog lists the tasks and user stories the team needs to complete during the sprint. Sprint planning meeting. A sprint planning meeting is like the Jedi Council convening to discuss and strategize upcoming missions. Just as the Jedi Council plans and decides on the next actions, the sprint planning meeting sets the goals and tasks for the upcoming sprint. Sprint plan. A sprint plan is like a starship's flight plan charting the course through hyperspace. Just as a flight plan outlines the route and objectives of a starship's journey, a sprint plan provides a clear direction for the Agile team during the sprint. Sprint retrospective. A sprint retrospective is like Jedi meditation, reflecting on past experiences to improve. Just as Jedi meditate to gain insights and improve their connection with the Force, the sprint retrospective helps the Scrum team reflect on their performance and enhance their process. Sprint review. A sprint review is like showcasing the successful completion of a critical mission to the Rebel Alliance leaders. Just as the Rebel Alliance leaders gather to see the outcome of a significant operation, a sprint review allows the Scrum team to demonstrate completed user stories to stakeholders. Stakeholder. A stakeholder is like an influential senator in the Galactic Senate, advocating for the needs of their constituents. Just as a senator represents the interests of their planet or system, stakeholders in Agile represent the interests of customers, users, and other project stakeholders. Stand-up, daily meeting. A stand-up meeting is like the Jedi Council's briefing, sharing crucial information among Jedi Knights. Just as the Jedi Council gathers daily to exchange information and align their efforts, the stand-up meeting allows Agile team members to communicate their progress and coordinate their tasks. ChatGPT. Story. A story is like a chapter in the epic Star Wars saga, narrating a specific event or mission in the journey of the characters. Just as each chapter unveils a part of the overall narrative, the user story in Agile describes a specific software requirement from the perspective of the end user. Story points. Story points are like the levels of the Jedi Training Academy. Just as Jedi apprentices advance through different levels of training based on their skills and progress, Agile teams use story points to estimate the complexity of user stories and the effort needed to complete them. Story mapping. Story mapping is like assembling a holographic puzzle of the Death Star plans in Star Wars. Just as the hologram displays various parts of the plan to form a coherent picture, story mapping visually organizes the product backlog to create a clear overview of the project. Swarming. Swarming is like a squad of Rebel X-Wing fighters working together to take down an Imperial Star Destroyer. Just as the X-Wing fighters swarm around the target, Agile teams collaborate to complete a task efficiently and swiftly. Sustainable pace. A sustainable pace is like the Millennium Falcon's cruising speed during its long journeys across the galaxy. Just as the Millennium Falcon maintains a steady pace to avoid overtaxing its systems, Agile teams work at a sustainable pace to maintain productivity and avoid burnout. Task. Each task is like a piece of equipment needed to repair the Millennium Falcon. Just as each task is essential to fix the spaceship, Agile teams work on individual tasks to complete user stories and build the final product. Taskboard. The taskboard is like a star map charting the course for a hyperspace jump. Just as a star map guides the spaceship's path, the taskboard visualizes the progress of tasks from to do, to doing, to done. Team member. A team is like the Rebel Alliance, consisting of various individuals with unique skills and roles working together to defeat the Empire. Each team member is like a Jedi, bringing their expertise to contribute to the success of the mission. Technical debt. Technical debt is like using outdated and vulnerable technology on a starship, requiring continuous maintenance and upgrades. Just as technical debt can slow down a starship, it hinders software development and requires additional effort to address. Test-driven development, TDD. Test-driven development is like Jedi training with a lightsaber. Just as Jedi practice their lightsaber skills with deliberate steps and precise movements, TDD involves writing tests first and then developing code to meet those tests. Timebox. Timeboxing is like setting a countdown timer for the Millennium Falcon's hyperdrive jump. Just as the hyperdrive engages for a fixed time, timeboxing sets a specific time frame for Agile activities, encouraging focused and time-bound work. Unit testing. Unit testing is like inspecting and testing the components of a lightsaber before assembling it. Each part of the lightsaber, such as the hilt and crystal, is tested to ensure it functions correctly and fits together seamlessly. User story. The user story is like Princess Leia's holographic message to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just as Leia's message contains specific information about her mission and requirements, the user story describes a specific software requirement from the perspective of the end user. User persona, similar to creating a droid profile for R2-D2. The user persona defines the characteristics, needs, and behaviors of a specific user type, just as R2-D2 has its unique capabilities and functions in the Star Wars universe. Velocity. Velocity is like calculating the average speed of the Millennium Falcon on its journeys through space. It helps the Agile team predict how much work they can complete in a given time frame based on their past performance. Work in progress, WIP, limits. WIP limits are like the number of missions a Jedi can handle simultaneously. Just as a Jedi can only take on a limited number of missions to ensure focus and efficiency, WIP limits restrict the number of tasks in progress to avoid overwhelming the team and maintain productivity.